I stand in firm affirmation of the resolution which states, resolved, the right to be forgotten from internet searches ought to be a civil right. Before I begin, I would like to define the following. Right to be forgotten. This is intended to cope with privacy risks online by empowering individuals to control their own identity and information in the online environment. Thus, if an individual no longer wants his or her personal data to be processed or stored by a controller, and if there is no legitimate reason for keeping the data, it should be removed from their system. Legal dictionary. Internet searches. Computer program that searches database and internet sites for the documents containing keywords specified by a user. Business dictionary. Ought. Used to indicate duty or correctness or typically when criticizing someone's actions. Oxford Dictionaries. Civil right. The rights of citizens to political and social freedom and equality. Oxford Dictionaries. The value used in this debate will be quality of life. Quality of life is categorized within 5 dimensions: physical well-being, material well-being, social well-being, emotional well-being, and development and activity. Quality of life provides for citizens to be able to live in a society where their needs are met to the greatest extent possible, therefore providing a society that provides for a citizen's needs before their own. Violation of quality of life can be seen in situations such as North Korea, where various human rights abuses happen and quality of life of their citizens is ignored. Other violations of quality of life can be seen in the Holocaust, where a Jewish citizen's life and quality of life was seen as lesser than other, leading to genocide. Impacts of not valuing quality of life are the abuse of human rights and violation of quality of life of citizens. The value criterion used to uphold quality of life will be the personal value success system. There's been a relatively recent development of the idea of personal fulfillment. People think they need to be satisfied or need to feel successful. This personal success becomes a value in itself that can subsume other values. In order to achieve a better quality of life, a person must have a sense of value of themselves, otherwise they will view themselves as worthless and their quality of life cannot increase when they feel that way. The right to be forgotten allows people to remove things from the internet that could damage their personal welfare. Once that is gone, they don't have to worry about losing their job over a mistake they made years and years ago. Observation 1. The right to be forgotten does not delete the website or information from existence, but rather makes it harder to search for. Contention 1. Not having the right to be forgotten violates personal autonomy. The right to be forgotten is an important instrument to be used in the process of negotiation, enabling further choices, opening future identities by removing previous ones. Similar identities or ideas can be found in the conceptualization of personal identity as a narrative, according to which personal identities are conceived and better understood as stories. Identities are not only nomadic, changing according to the story's development, but they also remain open to revision, taking into account the idea of personal identity as a narrative and stretching it a little further. The question that lies beneath the right to oblivion is the possibility of having parts of our identity narrative erased, preventing them from being accessed and acknowledged by the larger public. The right to be forgotten broadens the scope of the right to personal identity, covering not only the entitlement to construct one's future's identity story, but also erase one's past. The right to be forgotten plays an essential role not in the process of identity construction, but in the process of identity deconstruction, allowing for new and different identities to be built afterwards. Gomez, 2012. The United Nations Declaration of Human Rights states in Article 29, everyone has duties to the community in which alone the free and full development of his personality is possible. 2. In exercise of his rights and freedoms, everyone shall be subject to only such limitations as are determined by law solely for the purpose of securing due recognition and respect for the rights and freedoms of others and meeting the just requirements of morality, public order, and the general welfare in a democratic society. 3. These rights and freedoms may in no case be exercised contrary to the purposes and principles of the United Nations. Under the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights, a citizen of a government has the opportunity to develop himself in his society to the fullest extent. Therefore, by providing the right to be forgotten, one has the option to remove any incriminating data that may be at risk to his general welfare. Though the right to be forgotten would be a civil right, that no means says that any data pertaining to the government or national security can be deleted. The general public are the only ones that will be able to exercise said right by deleting data that will not be a risk to national security or another's welfare. With the with the right to be forgotten, people are allowed to take down anything negative to them. Therefore, the right to be forgotten can protect a citizen's identity, but can be revoked by the government if it is a risk. This upholds the quality of life because it provides the well-being of a person by saving them from defamation. Contention 2. The right to be forgotten leads to more motivated employees. Frederick Heisenberg came up with a theory called the two-factor theory. This theory stated that in order for an employee to be motivated, they had to have a good combination of two factors, hygiene and motivation factors. With low hygiene and motivation factors, employees are obviously less motivated, but they are also less productive and full of complaints. According to InsideBusiness360.com, one of the 3 main reasons that employees are unmotivated is due to personal problems or a lack of quality of life. Some of these personal problems are actually feeling humiliated or scrutinized due to something that has been put on the internet, either by them or about them. With the right to be forgotten, this will not be a problem because anything that is harmful to a person's welfare could be taken down, thus improving their quality of life and improving their motivation and leading to better output. And for these reasons, I urge you to vote in negation of the resolution.